Hello, everyone.
Bonjour.
That worked out nicely.
Yes, sir.
That worked out nicely. Uh, First and foremost, thank you for the win. You always got to be thankful for every win that you can get. Um,
Like I'm just confused on like the a lot of fans like dependent on Draymond Green. Like he's this backbone of what the Warriors is, bro. Steph is the backbone of what the Warriors is. And if I'm being honest, bro, if there's a real chance to trade for Anthony Davis as much as health problems as he have, bro, I will take that shit every single day. Because I know that 25% of AD is better than 100% of Draymond every night in and night out. And I don't think it's close.
a lot of people don't want to make that trade though. Like, there's so many people that I like that they go back at me on the timeline and they're like, "Nope, don't trade for him." Blah blah blah. And I'm like, that's where I wonder, like, if people are serious about actually winning, right? Because it's like we wanted to trade this guy, we wanted to trade that guy, and last season we wanted to make this trade and we wanted to make that trade, and after the trade was made, people were trolling. You know what I'm saying? But and that's cool. I'm okay with it. That's fine, right? But if we can legitimately get better, why wouldn't we do it?
Like if you're telling me that to get AD, we got to give up Kaminga, Draymond, and two firsts because he's a big contract. He's a guy that's injured. I'll do it, bro. I'll do it because I think Jimmy. Well, I don't think I know Jimmy can give me what Draymond does on offense, plus 10, and I think AD can give me what Draymond does on defense, plus 10. And I
Yeah.
believe in the Warriors' health staff to keep AD healthy.
Yeah, so my thing is like, if you have a chance to get better, because let me tell you something, right? Like, there's a lot
Thought
of
what you would
people.
do, or what I
there-
thought you would do, Urkel, is like do the positives before we talk about that thing again. Look kind of like how we did the last time.
yeah, yeah. So the last couple of games, right? Like, Draymond has had a rough stretch. Nate Duncan just posted something, and he was talking about like what's happened with Draymond like the last couple of games, right? Where I think he got ejected, he didn't come back to the bench, he sat, and now he got ejected again. You know what I'm saying? So, and if you look at like the plus minuses, like the last month or so, bro, they don't look great. Like, they're not on his side. You know what I'm saying? So, um, the thing that he provides usually, like, you know, and there's a thing that happens with defense, right? That he was actually really good at. He would get you stops, right? But also, not only would he get you stops, sometimes he would get stops and then he would push the ball in transition and then he would get you easy buckets. He used to do that for years. And that was kind of like the staple of our team. You know what I'm saying? That element, I don't know is necessarily there anymore. I don't know that.
No,
That's
Bro,
no.
he was a negative
Look at when no,
15 today. He's a negative 15. That's diabolical.
bro.
He only
and
Look at
played
when
two
usually,
Draymond
quarters.
Green.
usually I don't
Look at
like
when
to.
Draymond Green gets a stop. He looks gassed,
Yeah, bro. Like, usually I don't like to overreact to single game plus minuses, but I have been watching that trend. You know what I'm saying? And I've been watching it closely, right? So, you know, um, at some point, the juice ain't going to be worth the squeeze, right? And it's like, listen, this is this is probably it. You know what I'm saying? So, if you can take a swing at it, why wouldn't you take a swing at it? You know what I'm saying? Like,
also, I just wanna point out, without like Draymond Green, the Utah Jazz have been scoring 125 points for the last 10 games, and without Draymond Green, we held them to 114. So this thing where it's like, if Draymond Green is not here, we can't play basketball, we can't function. I don't understand it. I don't get it. Every game that he's been ejected from, that he decided that he's not gonna play, we've smacked niggas this season.
there was a time.
And
Relax. It's only preseason.
There was a
what?
time. There was a time when that was true, but that's not what I'm watching now. That is not really what I'm watching now. Like, we're not as dependent on him like we once were. Um, You know what's crazy is that the two centers, Quentin Post and TJD, they're actually playing really well.
Quentin Poe changed the whole game. He was playing defense
Yeah,
at
I
bro.
point.
think
So
for at least the last 10 games, Quinn Post and TJD have been playing really well. Would
so
I like a better?
so I'm gonna be
Even the
dead honest with you.
skeleton of Al Horford was playing better.
I'm still skeptical if that will happen in the playoffs, right? Like I'm still skeptical that TJD and Quentin Post you know is going to do something in like a Spurs series or a OKC series. I'm still skeptical of that. However, what if we can get better at that position? It is something to
Marco, I'm gonna be
consider.
honest. I think we look out. I think we look if we can get 80 and maybe like Najee Marshall from them. I think we'd be in a good spot. Just 80 alone would be nice, but I think if we can get 80 and Najee Marshall from the Mavs, we'd be in a good spot because
But the only way to
Najee
make that
Marshall.
math work is to trade Buddy, Moody, Kaminga, and Draymond. Like that means you'd have to trade
Yeah, that's
Moody.
true. We would be a lot of people, but
I
hey,
feel
man, I'm
like
not. I'm
Najee
not.
Marshall and Moody are kind of similar. Maybe Moody's a
Yeah,
better
they
shooter
are.
though.
They are. I think when it comes to like putting the ball on the floor, I think Najee Marshall is better than that. But you aren't wrong. But Najee Marshall is like 2 inches taller than him as well. So, I mean, no, yeah, Najee Marshall is
Yeah,
two
but I
inches
don't. I
taller than
don't
Moody.
think. I don't think like Steve would like players like that though either.
I don't really care what Steve's like, but to be
Well, you
fair,
have to.
uh, I mean, we've been caring what Steve likes for the last 3 years, and we've done nothing. So, and he's the same guy that's gonna go and speak about fading dynasty and we shouldn't trade for stuff. That's actually how the organization has been thinking about or has been thinking about stuff since 2020, since he got hurt, since we lost KD. That's how they've been thinking about stuff, and that's why Steph hasn't done more and hasn't gone further in the playoffs besides that 2022 run where he carried the fuck out of us. So I'm tired of the well, we're fading out. Like, I don't care what he thinks. That nigga's a cuck. Straight up. That nigga is a cuck. He is straight in my eyes, that's what he is.
You-
He's bowing down to niggas while you have a 38-year-old out there, a top six player in the NBA. I don't care.
31 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 rebounds. 6 of 12 from three tonight. Wow. 34
Good
minutes.
stuff.
Yeah. 34 minutes.
Vintage stat line.
And then I gotta hear my coach, the head coach, talk about. I don't know. We shouldn't really trade for people because you don't want to give up everything, bro. I
Bro,
like.
nobody's asking him to like throw 5 fucking picks in him. Nobody's asking that, but God forbid they throw in 1 or 2, bro.
No, but
Like
it's
GP2 and
like,
Melton
golly.
had some good games too.
so
Shit.
I hear people on the timeline, right? They say that Kerr is pleading with Lacob to make a trade. Okay. So why would you, in the same breath, then say, I don't know that you should make that superstar trade and all of this shit? So what is it? Like, are we going to make a trade or what?
Maybe he like
Also,
doesn't want like a Giannis level trade, but he's down for like a smaller trade. It kind of
Wood is
sounds like
down for a
he
small
still thinks a trade needs to be
because
made.
whenever you
So
see the
Like
thing is
I think we could all
and that's
agree
the
he
funny
definitely
thing.
wants to trade Kaminga.
let me be
Yeah,
honest
but
with
that's
you.
the
I
funny
Well,
think
thing
the
is
that's
also
only,
happening no
then
matter what.
listen,
He's not
listen,
going to be on the team anymore.
listen. I think I think what he's doing is that he's saying, no matter what, trade Kaminga. Right? Like, but that's cool. He's gonna get
That's
traded.
fine.
That's fine, right? Like he's gonna get traded. Now, let's get down
Uh-huh.
to business. Is that the only trade that you're gonna make?
Or
we
is that
don't
the only
know
person getting
because we
traded?
don't know who is for. My
Well,
thing
we
is
know
right.
that two people for sure have to take back one less player than we send out because the plan was to sign Pat Spencer to a standard deal, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so it's
So in the
so
trade, two people would be leaving regardless.
it would most
But my
likely
thing
have to
is,
be
but see,
be
you see the
Kaminga
thing
Kaminga and
about
and
Buddy.
Buddy.
Steve. Okay, go
Kaminga
ahead,
and
my bad.
Buddy are the most obvious candidates. Kaminga's a given, but like Buddy at this point is also, you might as well just throw that
Yeah,
in as a
because
given as well.
otherwise it would only be like Moody, and I think they like Moody. I mean, I think you need wings, so it makes more sense.
But
And he's
my thing
younger,
about
better
trading for Steve
contract.
Kerr is that the only way Steve Kerr ever changes what he does, and he really doesn't, is if we get a big guy. But he's trying to say, don't go out there and get a big guy because Steve Kerr is not going to trade change his system if Trey Murphy decides, you know what, I'm going to take the ball, I'm going to dribble, I'm going to go to the rim, I'm going to finish at the rim. He's not going to change his style. He's not gonna flex
But
his style for Trey Murphy. He's not going to flex his style for anybody unless you're a top 10 player.
so let
But
me
then he's
play a
saying
little
in the same
little
breath,
devil's
don't trade for
advocate.
those people.
Let me play a little bit of devil's advocate, right? Um, because in that Tom Tolbert interview, he also mentioned how they just wanted to have a shot, and how the second half of the season they gave themselves a shot. You know, so it was kind of like he was saying like we can't compete with them for years to come, but they just wanted to have a shot like a this year kind of thing. So it almost sounds like he's saying we don't need like a freaking, we don't gotta go like trade all the picks and everything and go get like a superstar, but like just give us something that gives us a shot. That's kind of like how I'm personally choosing to interpret it. But you guys know
You
me.
know
I'm
what that
like I'm
means.
intrinsically optimistic. I think intrinsically is the right word to use there. But like I'm a pretty optimistic person usually. So I feel like that's what he's trying to say,
What up, Eric?
You're probably not wrong, but I
Because
think
if you trade all the fucking picks and go get like somebody, right? You're not really catering to Steph anymore. You're kind of catering to that new guy.
What up, Erica?
I mean, in
What
a
up?
sense, yeah, but I'm thinking like if you're gonna trade for anybody, I think Draymond needs to go as well. I know that like the idea is that okay, right? For me, if Draymond stays on the team, then I don't think. I mean, with Stephen Curry, you always have a chance, but I think that the chance is severely limited. I
Did
think
Buddy play tonight?
Nope.
I
He
can
was.
check right now.
He
I don't
never
think he
took.
Nah, he
did.
didn't
He
get any
never even took
minutes.
off his warm up. CJ.
So Kaminga, Buddy, that's what, 31 something, 31.7. Draymond's like 27 mil, damn near. It's like,
You couldn't go wrong.
It's
what
50.
is that, 58 million? Just basically didn't play.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
You know
interesting
what I'm
stuff.
starting to see? Like the more that I'm looking at these minutes and the bench rotation or whatever, I'm starting to see a pattern developing on who Steve is going to play.
It's like
Um,
he's trying to prepare them for after.
yeah,
That's fine. I know there's gonna be a lot
Which
of
makes
games
sense
where
if you really think about it. What's the point of charading of what it's gonna look like if you already know what you're gonna do and
yeah.
know who's out? It's like, what's the point? Like, I need to start figuring out answers now, so when this shit goes down, like I already did some legwork.
Just by looking at the minutes tonight, just by looking at the rotations, I mean, Post played what 23 minutes. TJD played 17. So, uh, granted, Draymond didn't play, but he played 8 minutes. So you're starting to see
Maybe
like a
Gary
pattern
wouldn't have
develop.
got 21 minutes. I think
Gary played
Gary
well.
got all of Draymond's minutes.
GP2 had 10 points and 9 rebounds tonight. Like he played well. But one thing that I did notice in the game, when it was Steph and GP2 in the ball screen and GP2 got the ball on the roll, he was more effective than, certain people.
Yeah, because if
Going,
he's going downhill with a wide open rim, you have to send help because he's
yeah.
athletic.
and again, this is why I will always advocate for us trading for Anthony Davis because yeah, maybe the pick and roll would be Jimmy and Steph instead. But bro, it would free up so much shit for a nigga that's already averaging 21 and 11, bro. Like
Not
I
really. It's gonna mess up the chemistry.
I don't care, bro.
You're
Suck my dick.
stupid. Don't
Suck
didn't
my
you want
dick.
Larry?
Suck my
Go
dick.
suck Larry's
Suck my
dick.
dick.
Look what
Suck
happened.
my dick, bro.
They lost.
Suck my dick,
Stack
bro.
stack
Suck my
pattern.
dick, bro.
What up,
I'm not
Benzo?
gonna lie, I don't think Utah's
You
gonna trade Lowry
you
now.
you got to get on your knees
I
for
don't care
AD
about
again.
Laurie
Get on your
Marketing,
knees
bro.
again like a little doggy.
Oh well, bro.
Get on
Oh
your
well.
knees. Get on your
Oh well.
knees. Get on your knees
Oh well.
again.
Hey
Banzo,
Benjo.
quickly. Tell
Yo,
me success
Benjo is
that we've had in the
fucking
playoffs besides the
roasting. What the
second round.
fuck?
Quick. Quick, bro. Quick. Quick,
Yeah,
quick, quick.
always begging for
Tell me
stars
playoff
like he's
success besides the
nonstop.
second round. Quickly, bro. Playoff success besides the second round. Quick. Quick, bitch. Quick, bitch. Yeah, I ain't hear none from you. Bow down to me, little ass
Yo,
boy.
yo,
Cause we ain't
Urkel,
do shit outside the playoffs.
Urkel, Urkel. I just went to go check that post you told me about. I just died laughing, bro. Shit killed me, bro. Oh my goodness.
Yo, so when I look at this whole thing, right? Listen, I think we have a chance to get better, but I don't know. All right. Forget AD for a second, right? What other trade can we get of value to get somebody in here?
MPJ.
But if you
What
think about it, the MPJ thing doesn't even make sense either.
CJ, you know what you said that was really smart? I think you're gonna make a move, but I don't think it's gonna be Anthony Davis because CJ said something that was really important. It's like it's a type of move to give you a shot now, and I think AD is one of those trades where you're gonna leverage too much of your future to get him.
Why
Hope
would we leverage too
Wait,
much of our
what? How
future to
much
get
of your
AD?
future would you leverage to get him?
I
You
think
think?
I would trade. I wouldn't trade more than one first round pick for AD.
I
That's
don't agree
fair.
with you.
What?
I don't agree with you.
Well, if
I
well,
think two is
tr-
fine.
no two is an overpay because hear this.
How is two an overpay?
Because he's one injury from
Contract.
he's one minor injury from ruining for the Warriors. You're thinking from a Steph sexual standpoint. If you were if you think from
Okay.
a Warrior fan, it is dumb to send two first round picks for a player who's on the decline right now and a player who has a track history of being hurt every single season. I think.
And can I tell you something real
Well, you
quick?
have to like
Can I
on
can I
to
say
Matt's
something to you real
point.
quick
To
though?
Matt's
On
point,
top
he's
of that,
also making damn near
yeah,
60 mil.
on
Yeah,
top.
no, you aren't wrong. But can I say something real
Go
quick
ahead.
though?
Go ahead.
The people that are going in that trade for Anthony Davis,
You were
they
wrong
like,
too. We didn't get Lard, didn't we?
bro.
Banjo,
Got you
Why
back.
is
Banjo,
why,
Banjo,
what, bro?
Banjo,
Bro,
let him
before I
finish. You
call
little
you a
fucking
word,
fuck.
stop talking to me, bro.
Banjo,
Please
let
stop,
him finish. Let him finish,
stop.
Benji.
It is Draymond Green and Jonathan Kuminga, a nigga who don't play basketball for us, and Draymond Green, bro.
Uh,
You unfortunately, two firsts have to go in the deal like that.
well, I
Even if
don't
we were
think
talking about
I don't.
offloading
Well,
those contracts,
well, listen to me. Listen
two
to me.
firsts have to go in the deal like that.
I don't think you have to send two first. If you well, here's the thing. You might be right, but for the wrong reasons. You might have to send two first for them to consider sending AD to a West team. If they're gonna send AD down the
They
block,
don't care, bro. They're tanking, dog. What do you mean?
Exactly,
but it's
bro.
still nobody.
You aren't
It's the
understanding.
same thing.
There is no,
Nobody wants to help the Warriors win a championship. You're gonna have to pay a little extra.
bro. What is
You know what
help
I
the
think
word?
it is?
No, no,
You
no,
know what I think they
no.
got to do?
You're
I
thinking
think you
about
got
this
to
wrong.
find ways to turn it into a bigger, like, okay, you got to extract value from other teams, right? So, for
But what you're
example,
saying is wrong. The Mavs are not
yeah,
the Mavs are not one piece away from contending. They're trying to tank. Even another thing too, they're not trading them
but
and
I was
Steph is
about to
28.
make a
They're
good
trading
point.
them and Steph is 38.
Hey,
Steph is
CJ,
probably
what are you
gonna
gonna
retire
say?
in the next 2 years. Like, let's be real. They're not trading
So,
him. Oh
in
man,
order,
we gotta worry about them 5 years down the line. No, they
Is
know that this is a win now move. This is not something that's gonna affect them.
Hey, CJ, what are you gonna say?
okay, so I think in order to pull off whatever deal, right, and make it happen without spending too much, you got to find other ways to extract value, right? So, say an Anthony Davis trade happened. I don't think they have any interest in Draymond. I mean, this post that Ariane put in in the jumbotron shows that they're interested in Kaminga. So maybe they'll keep Kaminga, right? So there's value there. I think that people would be surprised how many teams actually would take a flyer on Kaminga. So there's value there. Say you throw in a first. Now with Draymond's contract, you could tie in other teams. So, for example, maybe you reroute Draymond and they take on like a bad contract for another first, like a protected first or something, like from the Sacramento Kings. They're desperate to get off some of their bad contracts. You know, maybe you can get value from a team that may value Draymond. I don't know. I'm being optimistic there. I don't know. I'd have to really think about what team could use them, but maybe there's a team
I
out
think
there,
what you
right?
said is perfect. They're gonna Draymond is a decent contract. He has 25 million to make for the next 2 years. That's a contract that's gonna end. They're avoiding paying Anthony Davis 60 million for 3 years. When they have Kaminga, who's gonna be a team option next year, and then Draymond, you gotta pay him for 1 more year.
No, but Kaminga, any team getting him, they're
Well,
gonna
yeah, I
have to
guess.
renegotiate
Yeah, probably.
like a
You're right
new
about that.
contract because they don't want him to walk in unrestricted. That's a rental. So, you can't even really use that contract to say like, you know what I mean? To say that it's a
Yeah.
good deal.
No, you're right. But the Draymond shit is
But the
essentially,
Draymond thing, you'd have to find a way to turn that into like more value, whether it's getting him to a place that will pay something for him, second round pick, whatever, or you take on a bad contract. If you're going to be a bad team anyways, the Mavericks, because you're building a young core, taking on like a Malik Monk contract or something like that. I mean, he's somebody who can kind of help you right now because he's a guard. You need guard play, and then you could say you take a first round, you get a first round pick for that. Well, that's another chance to bring in a player to build around Cooper Flag. So I'm not necessarily pushing for the Anthony Davis thing. I'm just saying like these deals can happen without it being so linear, where it's like point A to point B. Like I think that any deal that because Kaminga is going to be the one traded, right? I think any deal is probably going to be a multi-team trade,
Well,
like at
CJ,
least
you
three
also
teams.
have to look at the
I think
Jimmy
so
trade as a
too.
basis, bro, right? Like even Glorious, so you got to look at the Jimmy trade as an example, right? Like even then, that wasn't a linear trade per se. That ended up
Yeah,
being a
I
four
agree.
to five
I
team
agree. I
deal.
think it's gonna
Yeah, there were
be
salary dumps worked into
with
it and
multiple
everything for
people.
other teams. So that's a good point.
It's
Were you about to say Glorious?
it's
Or,
not
or sorry.
so it's not my first trade, but we need to make a trade, bro. I'm telling you. Like I'm looking at this team, bro, and it like sure, we can sit here and we can scream about four guards and this and three guards or whatever, right? But the fact of the matter is that it ultimately is a numbers game. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, we got like 8 guards on the roster. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think that's normal? To
Well,
have
eight
8 guards on the
guards, and
fucking roster?
also you also technically have like $31 million, 50 plus mil if you count the Draymond one in salary that
Yeah.
essentially didn't even play the game today. So don't ever tell me that you can't do something with that. You literally have $50 million of salary that you can work with. Like you have to be able to do something with that. I don't want to hear any fucking excuses.
So I
Also, it'd
don't
be
think the
nice if
Anthony Davis thing is necessarily ideal, right? Like if you look at that number, like 54, I think this year and 56 next year, that's a massive number, right? So that
Bro,
You essentially
Lowry marketing would have been fucking crazy.
right?
if you do the Anthony Davis thing, you essentially have three guys that make close to, if not at $60 million on the roster.
Listen,
Like that's insane.
yeah,
That's
bro.
Yeah,
insane to me.
I
that's true.